Hi everybody! In today's video, I wanted to talk about the upcoming Sephora spring sale. Sephora does a sale like this maybe twice a year, I think, in like the winter and the spring, and it has the different levels of discounts that you get based on what type of member you are. I'll try and put an infographic here. I believe the code this year is Save Now in all caps for everyone, regardless of what tier you are, and then you just check which day the sale opens to you. I personally am a VIB member. This is the first year I've ever been a VIB member. Normally I'm just a regular insider. So this year I can potentially get 15% off my purchases. Insiders get 10% and then Rouge gets 20, I believe. So I just kind of wanted to go through my current Sephora wish list today and kind of talk about some items that I might contemplate buying during the sale. But I also want to start off with the stipulation that I in no way personally feel any pressure to shop the sale, and I don't want anyone else watching this video to feel any pressure or even influence to shop the sale at all. If we're being perfectly real, getting 10 to 15% off your purchase at Sephora is really not a good deal. It's better than what they typically offer because Sephora doesn't do huge sales. Things tend to not go on clearance as frequently as other stores. They don't have coupons like Ulta does and things like that. And I also just personally don't think the Sephora rewards program is anywhere near as good as the Ulta rewards program. So in all honesty, I tend to not purchase a ton of stuff from Sephora anymore just because of the price, the not great reward system, and I can usually find things at Ulta either with a coupon. They do a lot of like promos and offers like buy one get one free, even though that's more on the drugstore side of things, but I just feel like Ulta does better sales in general. So with all that being said, there are still a few things that either, you can pretty much only buy exclusively at Sephora, or that I do feel like if you were gonna look to buy maybe one or two more expensive items, this is a time to think about maybe purchasing something like that. I know last year my big purchase during the Sephora sale was I got the Charlotte Tilbury bronzer, and saving 15% on that was, it was kind of a good deal, but at the end of the day, even if you're only buying one or two things, you're really only saving yourself a few dollars at the end of the day, which is better than nothing. But I don't think in any way it needs to justify adding, a ton of items to your cart and feeling pressured to buy hundreds of dollars worth of items just to save a few dollars. So with all that being said, I am going to go through some of my wish list items and maybe kind of narrow down one or two things that I might actually go purchase during the sale. So if you want to see some of my wish list items, then just keep watching. Okay, so I have, let's see, how many things do I have on here? I think I have about 15 things on my list right now. I'm definitely not buying 15 things during this sale. But I have a couple things, whenever you're watching a YouTube video or you're scrolling Instagram, if you see something that you're intrigued by, I'll usually just either add to cart or add to my wish list. So let's kind of go through some of those now. A lot of mine right now is skincare and not makeup. So that's also something I'm kind of thinking about. The sale maybe is a good time to purchase one or two more like high-end skincare items to try out. So I'm not paying full price, but I don't know, it's still hard to pay a lot of money for skincare when I know there are certain things at the drugstore that can work. But let's start off with the skincare category. The first thing I have on my list, actually a number of things are from the pharmacy brand. I have my list in front of me, so that's why I keep looking down. The first thing is the Pharmacy Halo Glow Ultra Cream. This is a ceramide moisturizer. It comes in a couple different sizes, so I would probably get like the middle size, like not a mini, but not like a jumbo size. So it looks like full price, this would be $48, so getting 15% off of that could be good. The next pharmacy item I have is the niacinamide night mask. This I might actually purchase the mini of, although it is still hard to think about spending like $25 on a mini size of a product. But It has the niacinamide ingredient in it, which I know is kind of all the rage right now and is really good for like firming and filling pores and kind of helping refine, you know, those wrinkles and lines in your face. So I would be interested in trying this, and it also has pretty good reviews. Another pharmacy item that I have on my list, but honestly I probably won't purchase, is their cleansing balm. It's the Green Clean Makeup Cleansing Balm. I like cleansing balms. It's just, I don't have one right now in rotation, and I feel like I am kind of missing it. But usually I just buy the e.l.f. one because that one is $10 and the pharmacy one is $36. So I'm really doubting there's anything so great about it that makes it, $26 more worthy than the e.l.f. one. I don't know, maybe if I do a little more research on the ingredients in it, maybe. But this is one that, while I'm intrigued by, I probably will pass on. Let's see, another skincare item I have in here is a cleanser from Paula's Choice. It's their Clear Pore Acne Cleanser. I typically go back and forth between using an acne specific cleanser and then just like a regular face cleanser. So I'm kind of in the market for an acne one. Typically the one I use is the Derma E cleanser, but I've kind of had a hard time finding it recently. So I don't know, the next time I decide to do like a bigger Ulta order, I might just order that one online. But this Paula's Choice one at $15, I feel like is not a bad price at all. So I'm going to consider picking this up during the sale. Another item that I have been really intrigued by, skincare and body care wise, is from Necessaire. I know this brand is kind of one that seems to be being pushed a lot on YouTube and Instagram by various influencers, but I am interested in their neck specific serum. It just looks nice and it has decent reviews. I don't think I have like crazy wrinkles on my neck, but like it is an area where you do tend to show aging first. But the full size of that is still like $60. So even with 15% off, I'm like, that's a lot just for a neck specific cream. So I don't know if anybody has any recommendations for a different neck specific cream that's not $60, I would appreciate that. For some hair care, I also typically switch back and forth between using like a drugstore version of a shampoo and conditioner and then a higher end brand. I really do feel like I see better results when I use a like salon quality or higher end brand of shampoo and conditioner. It's just really hard for me to justify spending that much money like on an like almost monthly or every other monthly basis. But this would be a time that I would consider picking up another set of the Olaplex shampoo and conditioner. My hair had really good results the last time I was using that a few months ago. And if you watched my video last week, I've kind of been going through it with some shampoo and conditioner sets this time around. So I am thinking about picking that up during the sale. Let's move on to some makeup items. The first item, well, it's not really makeup. I guess it's still kind of skincare. It is the Super Goop Glow Screen. I have owned this. I own this now. I've owned it in the past. I really like it. Mine, unfortunately, is expiring this month, and I have not been able to use it all up. I'll still use it because even if the SPF qualities are not as active, it's still a glowy base that I can use under things. But I'm thinking about picking up another tube of it for the summer. I really like the glow version for days when, if I'm just gonna go out, walking or we're at the beach or whatever we're doing, it's nice to have that sunscreen, but then there's that extra, little bit of glow that just adds that little bit of something that makes you feel still like put together without having put on a face of makeup. Even something like a tinted skin balm sometimes is still, or a tinted moisturizer is still too much for me in the summer on those days when you're just going to be spending the whole day outside. So this is definitely something I think would be worth checking out. I do know that e.l.f. has their dupe version. I haven't tried that yet, so maybe I should try that before repurchasing this at a higher price. Let me know if you've tried the e.l.f. one before and if you think it is just as good or similar enough to justify not really buying this anymore. Another makeup item that I also already own that I wanted to point out that could be a good time to try out during the sale is Natasha Denona products. In particular, the Biba palette, the mini palette, is my favorite one, and I would recommend this one at full price. I think it's normally $27, so if you can get this on sale for the 10, 15, 20% off, I think it's at least a little bit of something off of getting a Natasha Denona product, and this one for me is like a great everyday neutral palette, so I highly recommend this. For some other makeup, I have a couple things on my list from the LYS brand. I have used up their face powder in the past and I really, really liked that powder. So it makes me intrigued to try out maybe their foundation or their concealer. I feel like it's pretty affordable anyway for Sephora prices, so adding that extra little bit off is intriguing to me. On a similar note, even though I just said tinted moisturizers are sometimes too much for me in the summer, I don't really have any in my collection right now, and I'm interested in kind of trying one out as we get into the warmer weather as part of my regular makeup routine. I feel like once we get into the spring months, I'm not wanting as heavy of a makeup application on a daily basis. So I'm interested in trying out the Say Slip Tint Dewy Tinted Moisturizer. I like that it has an SPF 35 in it. I feel like, the shade range is not horrible. Like it could always be better, but at least they have a number of shade ranges. It's not like you have 4 to choose from. So I feel like I could find a shade that would work. This also has really good reviews, and I have seen a number of people use this on YouTube and it always looks really good to me. So I am interested in trying that out. We have 2 more makeup items left to talk about. The first is the Rare Beauty highlighter. I'm sure this will sell out if it's not already sold out. Again, these sold out crazy fast when they were first launched, and I feel like every time I check, they're still out of stock. When I checked this morning, they were in stock, but once the sale starts, I'm sure I'll miss out again, which honestly, at the end of the day, is totally fine. I don't need another highlighter, especially one that looks as intense as that one is. I said it before in other videos, I just really like the packaging of the Rare Beauty products. Everything I've tried from that brand I have really liked, so I just have no doubt that the highlighter would be really good as well. The last, I lied, I have 2 more makeup items now. The last item, I actually think I will pick this up, is the Bare Minerals bronzer. I feel like this was a limited edition product a few years ago and I never picked it up, and now they've brought it back as part of their permanent line. I think I missed out on this during the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale. I think it was one of the days you could have bought it at a discount, and I didn't really pay attention to the 21 Days of Beauty sale this year because I'm kind of trying to watch my spending, and I was just like, I don't even want to be tempted by anything, so I kind of stayed away. But this is something I can see myself wanting to pick up. I like the idea of it. I like that it's got a tiny little bit of sheen to it. All of my blushes right now pretty much are matte, except for my Luminoso blush. So it would kind of be nice to have a different color choice beyond that Luminoso shade. I could have maybe a more pink, like shimmery blush on hand. And again, it just has good reviews. I know, people were so upset that it was limited edition, but now that it's back, I feel like I do want to have it in my collection. And the last item, I don't think I'm going to purchase this. And I know in a video, which I will link below, it was my anti-haul wish list video I did maybe like a month or 2 ago. I said I was going to take this item off my wish list, and I haven't because well, let me try to explain it. It's the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk eyeshadow quad, and this is $55. And it's so hard to wrap my mind around potentially paying $50 to $55 for an eyeshadow quad. But at the end of the day, I almost feel like if I was going to, this would be one that would be worth it for me because every single color in that quad is 100% wearable for me on a daily basis. None of them are too dark, none of them are too light. I feel like sometimes in quads, they'll give you a really dark shade that they want you to use as like liner to smoke it out. That's not realistic for me every day. I feel like the shade in this one, the darkest shade in this, is still a relatively more like medium shade for me that I could wear in my you know, outer corner every single day and not have it be too much for a regular work day. So I do feel like I would definitely get my money's worth, and I could see myself, if I bought that eyeshadow palette, I could end up panning the whole thing at some point in time very easily just from regular everyday wear. So I don't think I will purchase it now because, again, I feel like I have a lot of palettes in my collection, you know, like the Biba and a couple others that have that neutral color palette that I can wear every day. So it's hard to justify buying another one with very similar colors. But at the same time, I'm of the mindset that if I am going to spend that much money on a product, it might as well be for something that I'm going to use every single day. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys are interested in purchasing in the Sephora sale, if anything. Again, I don't feel like any of us should ever feel any pressure to buy anything during these sales. I feel like they try to hype it up, and Sephora especially, they're like, nothing ever goes on sale, so get it while you can. And that just is absolutely not true and not the way you need to approach anything. Thank you for watching this video. Again, I hope this was interesting enough and also a way to kind of look through some things at Sephora that, you know, you could potentially buy with a slight discount, but absolutely none of us should feel pressure or influence to buy anything during any sale ever, because at the end of the day, minus maybe a skincare product or two, none of these are going to like change our lives or, you know, be a big deal. So no pressure to spend any money or overspend. Don't buy things you can't afford. Again, for me, the sales are just kind of a good time to maybe pick one or two items that I've been wanting to try to pick up just to save a little bit of money, but I'm definitely not buying everything that I talked about today, not even close. I honestly don't even know if I'm going to buy a single thing, which is kind of boring, but it's the truth. So thank you all for watching. Comment below with anything that you're interested in trying, or let me know any of your recommendations for this sale. Give this video a thumbs up, please subscribe, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.